Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hello, family. How you doing today? This is Victory TV, and I'm Victor, and this is at the end of the day. Well, today is Sunday, and I just got back, came in. Today is my birthday, September the 28th. And it has been a great day so far. I actually went to the mosque this morning and had a very empowering session this morning with the brothers, and our minister there really ministered to us today and made me feel like all over again, brother, you are at the right place. This is the appointed time for you to become a part of the Islamic movement. And I'm so thankful and so incredibly happy about the changes that are happening in my life and the beginning of becoming a soldier for our Creator, for the protection of our people and the protection of our planet and our people. This is such an awakening hour for me, an awakening time in my life, and I'm really excited about it. It's helping me to reprioritize some things in my life that is going to be for the betterment of not only myself, but also for our community, for our people, for my family, and hopefully to reclaim my family, my children, okay, and the ministry that God gave me long time ago. And I'm really being brought back to that mission. And the times that God gave me the mission then, I keep getting messages back in my life now that God was talking to me all the time, even when I was a child. Even when I was even in my teens, God was speaking to me then, and I was doing some things then that I was not aware that they had anything to do with what I'm finding that the Nation of Islam is about also. I was doing some string art into my own business and making my own business, creating my own business, my own thing of making money. And these are the things that are very important for us to do, especially when we take off the veil of ignorance and take off the enslavement mentality of not understanding that as a man we should be producers and not necessarily consumers, in order to get rid of the slave or enslavement mentality, which all of us and many of us as a people seem to have these days. So yesterday I visited Jackson, Alabama, to visit down to my theater there, and to visit there just to check up on things and also to put some things in action as far as the plans for what will happen with my real estate there. But I've also had the, I won't say grand opportunity, but an opportunity to, I went to a funeral of one of my students. One of my students' mother had died, which was her only living parent, I believe. And I was able to go there and reestablish and revisit the past, you might say. That was this student, beloved student of mine. She lost her mother, and I remember the thing that she did that was so brave of her. She stood up before the class, and while the 90% of the class was going to the right, she was the only one that stood up to go to the left and do what was right by me. Because me being an excited student in school, I think I had graduated by then, working on my master's in education, and this was probably my second job, but only a couple of years or whatever teaching in this field. And I remember the students, I guess, and these were smart students. The interesting thing about it is just so sad that this was the mindset of black students. And I was so excited and on point and on key with doing what God had commissioned me to do, which was to go back and save our kids. And I was so motivated and excited about turning them on and getting them excited about being a black being and embracing their blackness. And these students actually, to this day, I don't know why, but one of the leading students, it was a female, and I was standing in the hallway, and I heard this voice coming from the inside of my classroom because the students were coming in, and this student said, "Yo, let's get together and get Mr. Ezell fired." To this day, I don't know what I had done, because this particular student that was like the ring leader was a student that I had held in such high esteem. I would always tell her she reminded me of Oprah. I said, "Girl, you like to talk," but she was a smart girl. And I always said, "You're going to grow up and you're going to be somebody. You're going to make a difference in this life." And I would say things like that to my students. And a couple of the girls that were kind of, I don't know how to say that, but I was constantly having to maybe speak to them in a way that let them know that, baby, I expect more from you. I expect you to go out and make a difference in this world. And there was another student. She had her father in a home and her mother in a home. And I think that she went on to do great things. This other one that did this thing till today, I don't know whether I know that they have not at this point done as well as I thought that they would have done. But it's just a reminder to me that, you can't mistreat authorities and think that you're just going to be blessed in life. But she said, I heard it said from when I was in the hall, they said, let's plot or let's get Mr. Ezell fired. And what they had done, they had taken a camera. I don't know who had the camera. They weren't supposed to even have cameras in the school. But I guess what they did, they were trying to throw me off balance because, I'm usually, I had it going on back then and I have it going on now. But I thought, I seem to have always had an answer for them. And some people just can't handle that. I always had a good answer. And I'm not just saying a fly off the mouth answer. I had a good answer that was always going to point them back into the direction of who they need to be. Why this is wrong. It might have been biblically based, but I always had an answer. And I'm so thankful to the Adventist faith that they gave me a lot of answers, about how to eat and what's good for your body and things. I was always sharing things like this with the students. But this particular girl was so used to probably having her way in a home. She did not have a father, from my understanding, in a home. And so I guess I just represented someone in her life that she needed to challenge. And so she planned this and plotted this. And I guess the students had gotten together. This one would ask me this question. This one would ask me this one. And they were just throwing the questions. And pretty soon the class was just all in disarray and out of hand. And I probably knowing me, I didn't curse back then, but I probably demanded, come to order, get that class, was getting the class together. And so they took this video and just showing how it really, I never saw the video, but I can assume that the video probably showed just how disrespectful and out of order that they were. And they were probably saying that I didn't control my class, but my class has never been out of control until that day, because they plotted. They plotted to do that. And so I think the principal called me to the office. I think they did. And it was, no, I may have gone to the office and reported to the office that the students had done this. But maybe I didn't have a way of validating it because I didn't have the camera. And I didn't know that it had been recorded. I was just reporting that the students were very disrespectful or what have you. But anyway, this particular student that I went to the funeral of her mother, I always, when I went back home, I told my daughter, I told my family that I'm going to remember this child, even if I have to put them in my will. I want to do something special for her because she had the guts and the nerves to stand up against that class. And even though they were saying one thing, she told the truth. She went to the office and she told on them that they planned this thing out trying to get Mr. Ezell fired. And I thank her to this day. So when I went to the funeral, I got there not on the tail end, but I would have liked to have been there a lot earlier, but I had to go up and speak, and I wanted to tell at least this story again and let her know how much I appreciated her. And don't feel like you're by yourself, baby. I don't want you to feel like that, because if God blesses me, I got your back as a father, because you never had the father that you did so much deserve. And I just want to thank you. And if it's God's will for me to be able to help you in your time of need, I want to be that person to remember you. You're a great person. And this video, I take this time just to come out and say to you, at the end of the day, thank you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.